The form of entropy I think we explored, or at least was our inspiration in part 2, was the idea of like a block of ice melting to become water. All right, and that kind of finding its natural disorder that way. So starting with the Reich and those very cold and detached kind of chimes at the very beginning inspired the idea of a block of ice.
We decided to color it with the Harmon mutes, which gives it kind of a buzzy, kind of cold sound. But Tom had to combine the Reich with other piece where all the slippery sounds come from. So that's the beginning of that movement. It's supposed to be a block of ice or a cold feeling, and slowly it starts to warm up and melt. Agape comes in with really warm major chords. And the trumpet solos are supposed to be, what you would hear like somebody playing out in the field or down the alleyway. Reverb so that it trails off as if, it was echoing through the streets or across the plain. And then the drum line, the idea was that they would be like a distant kind of rumble. If you were walking towards Niagara Falls, you would hear the falls from a long, long, long way away. And John's got them like as far away from the rest of the drum corps as he can legally do. So that's the idea, is that it's not really them advancing towards you, it's you advancing towards like a river or Niagara Falls.
And their sound evolves over time. They start with kind of the rubber tips and very indirect kind of sounds and implements that way, but a lot of it's unison and kind of metric modulation up and down dynamically to give it a sense of this splits apart a little bit, develops, and then we change back to regular sticks, add snares back on, and so it's really kind of a progression of sound that way too.
And the climax of that piece is actually a Carolyn Rose piece. So when we get there, I picture really huge swells in the sea, or again, a waterfall. So, you hear the climaxes from the brass. You hear these like climbing kind of motifs from the low brass. And then we come down very, very quickly, and the keyboards take over and just spill over that next chord. But I think it's something that most audience members can relate to. Water, obviously. They've seen a waterfall, they've seen ice melt. So those are the kind of images we're trying to evoke in that second movement.